we're going to do what's called the millennial pause, where we before we even intro into anything, because if you remember the old school way of streaming, there would always be that little delay
Mhm.
before happening. But anyway,
Mhm.
hi everybody, and welcome to the first, well, the test stream of Boca and Mocha. My name is Griff. I'm joined with Jen and our producer and engineer Chris as well too, who is hosting all of this. He's still got to change his screen here real quick so you can see his beautiful face. Say hello, Chris.
Too many buttons. I'm
Too
still
many
learning.
so many buttons. Master of the
So
controls.
many.
Yes.
This is a test stream, by the way. We're completely testing. But anyway, we are, of course, a podcast and streamcast, if you will, talking about photography and our love of coffee as well too. Hence the
Oh,
name
yes.
Boca and Mocha. And we have a bunch of different levels, if you will, of photography experience between the group of us, about 25 years of photography experience. But we'll go down in order here. Christopher, of course, being the one that has the longest running of 20 plus years experience in the photography industry. Me, about 5 to 6 years of photography experience as I'm beginning to work my way into the actual professional field. And then Jen over here, fairly new, less than a year now, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Less than a year, but we're getting up there. We just got to keep practice going.
Yeah, starting your photography journey and everything.
Oh,
So yeah.
yes.
And I mean, like I said, test stream, so we're gonna kind of just see where the conversation takes us. This is more.
Part of running a test
Mhm.
is seeing if your sound is working or not.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so Jen, so you work with Christopher as kind of a administrative kind of assistant kind of thing to run the
Yes.
business here, Christopher's Creations LLC. And what did the exposure of working around photography get you interested in the hobby, or is it more of a like, oh, he needs a second shooter, so I should probably learn?
So, with working with Chris for as long as I have, which that will be a year in, oh, what'd we say, June?
May.
May, June, around that time frame. So, having seen his photography at Art Walk actually
Mhm.
got me really interested in just getting to know him as how he is and his photography. And then back when my photography interest actually started, it was through my aunt,
Mm.
who is local here in Hayes as well, and she does photography. She goes around out in the country and finds like old abandoned buildings and just places that she finds beautiful and
Mm.
photographs that. But she was getting rid of her old camera because she had just bought her new one.
Mhm.
And so I bought that off of her, and that honestly sparked my interest because it's like, okay, I have a camera now. I want to go out and get all these pictures of friends, family, just the beauty and nature and everything out there, because like you have said earlier before we started our live,
Mhm.
uh everybody, like, you got a whole bunch of different levels of photography you can do. You've got like your street photography, you've got your portrait, you've got your nature, you've got macro, you've got all those different categories. And I'm interested in like three big ones. I'm interested in nature
Mm.
and astral, and just like if I get a chance to do street photography, then
Mhm.
trying that out. And I'll just learn it on the go or learn it with somebody that's frequented in that area of expertise.
Mhm.
So like, if with you being more street photographer, ever like ever going out and stuff
Mhm.
with that, I'd be like, can I tag along just to kind of get a
we,
feel for
we
it?
call that a photo walk.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
yeah, go on a photo walk with Griff.
Yeah. So yeah, like Jen said, yeah, I do love street photography. Mine, I also love portrait. That is probably that would probably be my moneymaker, if you will, is
Mm-hmm.
portrait, and also boudoir. I also do a little bit of boudoir as well too, but
Mm-hmm.
that is not like a huge clientele per se,
Right,
especially
right.
around here and everything. But there's a lot of ins and outs. And then Christopher, what's your focus again?
Again, lots
It's
of buttons.
Got to push buttons.
Here we go. Just to change it over to my camera and my microphone, it takes like 4 or 5 buttons to be able to press.
I do apologize if anybody is on the live. I just got over the flu, so beware. There will be an occasional cough here and there.
Yep.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's got to be one of the wonderful times of the year for
Oh
that.
yes.
Yep.
But as you said, this is our testing stream, so we've got a lot of bugs that we're working out. It's our first time ever doing a multi-camera podcast stream from this entity
bad,
completely. But for me, my background, as you said, I've got a lot of background here. I've got 20 years experience behind the lens. 15 of those have been in a professional aspect of things. So I've been doing things. My main expertise level would be nature, macro. I do work with a bunch of portraits and everything else. But as a professional side, some boudoir, as you said, it's hard to do that out here in the middle of Hays, Kansas.
But boy, is it it's fun when you find that client that actually like is willing to do it.
Yeah, we'll probably have a boudoir episode at some point, but I digress.
Yes.
But
That would probably be more of a special episode, I feel, because that's a topic that can be both PG-13 and rated R.
no, you can still do it PG even still, because what we would probably talk about is just like kind of the actual like the practice of it, removing the taboo of it, and also like the safe practices of it as well too, because boudoir photography, and we're getting way off topic here, but that could actually be there have been like some people that like get into boudoir photography for the absolute wrong reasons,
Right.
and we could talk about how
Right.
you as a client can keep yourself safe and
Yes.
verify if the person that is if the photographer is legit. But that's a whole other topic right
That's-
there. We'll get into
yes.
that later. So,
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. But like what we said, different levels of photography, different interests in photography. We'll probably also have some Q&As as well too, if we get enough people following. And if you want to submit in your questions, Jen, with her being a first-year photographer, she'll probably have a ton of questions that Chris and I can bounce off of.
Oh yes, I
kind of
still
thing.
need to write down some. I
Yeah.
know that last time we all gathered, I said I needed to create a list. Life has been a very busy bee, so I have not been able to actually sit and write my list yet, but I am getting there. And of course, if there's any comments that are along the lines of questions that I just can't find the words to, put into words, then we'll get it answered, and that also gives me the answer. And vice versa, I might have a question that some of you in the comments can't quite find the right words for, and then it'll get answered.
The other thing to stress as well too is that photography it's an art. It's an art form. There are correct and wrong ways to do it, but there are more correct ways to do it than there are wrong ways to do it. We talked about this during the initial meeting when we discussed like starting this podcast. Chris and I have two different not necessarily ideas, but like we're dichotomies of photography. Chris with his background and his technical know-how is a lot more technical than I am. He's about like getting that clear shot, that clarity, and things like that. Whereas with me, especially with like a street photography enjoyment, it's more about capturing that moment. And if it needs to be a little soft, if it needs to be a little noisy, if you will, and that's something that we'll talk about when we get into ISO and stuff like that, that's fine. It's more about just capturing that moment than it is about getting like a sharp image and stuff like that. Talk about composites. We'll talk about
exposure.
Exposure therapy, the lighting triangle, if you will. That's the thing that I love about photography as well too, is that as an art form, I would argue that it's probably like the easiest art form to get into, at least initially speaking. One, you get those instant results. You see those, you can make those changes, those adjustments right on the fly, and see that change in the back of your camera as well too. Versus, like learning how to draw. Well, you have to learn how to color in your shadows, how to draw figures, how to there's a lot more work in that, or music for that matter. You got to
Oh
start
yeah.
with the absolute basics of living
Yes.
as an art form, if you will.
Yes. And drawing is difficult because
Mhm.
I should know. Being an artist, it's difficult, but photography is a lot of fun. Like Griff said, you have the multitude of things you can discuss, and everybody starts out at a different level. And one thing that Chris says all the time to me is not every photo is going to be the same.
Mhm.
And you have so many different ways of making that photo perfect. And it may take you like anywhere from 5 to 20 shots just to get the right one. And you might have more than one, and then you might have that one that's just perfect with all your light exposure and everything.
Yeah.
And it'll take time to get up to the level that you're wanting to be able to get that perfect shot, and get your camera set to where it will turn out perfect the first couple of takes.
Yeah.
But I feel like getting more than one take, it just gives you more broader of an option to be able to look back and be like, okay, well, here's what I can
Mhm.
improve on, here's what needs to change, and this is what I can do better.
Mhm.
Because with certain camera equipment and just equipment in general for photography, you can use your zoom on your lens, you can manually zoom by walking forward or backwards. You have all those different perspectives, like bird's eye perspective, worm's eye perspective.
Mhm.
And it just brings a whole lot more depth to your photo that you're trying to get. Because like with portraits, you can either zoom in with your lens, or you can physically walk forward or backwards in order to get what you need to, in order to create that field of depth.
Mhm.
And just trying over and over again with taking the same photo and getting it perfect that final time,
Mhm.
it just makes it feel all the more invigorating to continue
Yeah.
doing the photography.
Yeah. And Jen is already talking like she hasn't had just under a year of photography, but that's again a testament to how just easy it is to jump in here. And so we're here for you guys on your photography journey. I want to switch over to Chris here real quick, because Chris, the last time when we sat down and talked about this podcast here, he had like a good insight about how, like, if we went to Cedar Bluff and all three of us took the exact same shot. I'll let you say it in your own words. Where all three of us, if we had took the same shot of something.
Yes. So one of the things that like I said, we talk about these things all the time. We're working with the podcast. We all could go to see the same item, such as, well, for the example here, we'll just say a deer.
Mhm.
We all will look at the same deer and say, "This is an amazing uh, unit to be able to take pictures of." I'll see it in a very different way than what you'll see it or what Jenny will see it. And I just put my hand right in front of the camera. The more things to learn about.
I'm learning that I can't gesture with my right hand because I'll bump this this
Right.
Yeah,
And
I
I'm just like,
realized-
oh, look, there's a camera.
I
there."
realized I smacked my mic, and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You'll hear some smacks and whatnot.
Oh, yeah. We're still learning. We're still new to this.
Yeah.
We want to share what we've learned. I mean, with 20 years, 5 years, and it started, we've got so much that we can be able to share with everybody. But back to our deer in the woods there. We'll see some of our pictures today. We'll kind of go through a little bit on here to kind of show some of the stuff that we have done. I've got this very detail-oriented style that I look for the clarity, or I look for the almost the fine detail.
Mhm.
In your style, we've talked about before, is very much in the moment
Mhm.
of how everything is. And
Mhm.
Jenny, you're still trying to find your style.
I
which is
feel
great.
like I have aspects of both, because I like being in the moment, and if I like something in the moment, I'm going to take a picture to remember it.
Mhm.
Like with one of the ones I sent you for our test today, when we were on that fishing trip at the lake. There's a really pretty photo I got of being in, would you call that a valley or like outcropping?
That was
It
it was up one of the not eddies. We took the boat out
Little
into one of
bay.
those little bays. Yeah.
It's like a
You know
little
what,
bay.
why don't we just bring that one up while we're talking about it?
Yes, please.
Let me.
Because then it'll be a lot more easier to describe it
To explain it, yeah.
with the visual up on the television here.
Yeah.
But
Oh, we're there.
I got said photo when we had stopped for the day to eat lunch. And I was like, you know what? Being out in nature is something that really helps me ground myself, especially with the stress of everyday life and everything. Because, nature, it changes over time, but it still maintains that beauty and that curiosity. Because you never know what's laying beyond a single blade of grass. You don't know what animal is over the horizon or over that hill. And for prime example, like all the greenery in this photo, it just shows all the life being right there, despite being so close to the water in this bay and having the walls of rock right along either side. Because when the sun is at a certain point, you get just the right angle for maintaining the life and flora. And then you've got all the shade from whenever everything dwindles down towards the end of the day. But it was just such an amazing time to be out there, just enjoying a good friend and catching some fish despite that dang bluegill that kept sucking my bait off the rod. I'm coming for you, bluegill. But it's invigorating to be able to see what you can capture. And this photo actually was not taken on my camera. It was taken on my phone. But I've managed, yes, I know, for shame on me. But
See,
I've
as a street
gotten some.
photographer, I say that you can take photos on a phone. So.
And sometimes they turn out great, and other times they turn out completely the opposite. And as much as I love using my phone for photography, there are some times where I'm just like, you know what, this doesn't quite cut it. Like with the Northern Light photos me and Chris have gotten. That most definitely is 10 times better on a professional camera than it is on my phone, because the phone doesn't pick up as much light as the camera lens does.
I was about to say, I think I sent you one of those Northern Lights photos, actually, Chris. Oh, maybe not. Did I not? Okay, well, that's fine.
No, I've got your street, your lizard, a sunset. That might be the one you're thinking of. And skeleton.
Oh yeah, the skeleton one. So I mean, if we want to, real quick, since this is obviously a photography podcast here, how we would look at this particular photo as photographers, like Christopher, what would you say as far as like improvements on? I mean, bear in mind this was taken on a phone, but the fact that it's like capturing the green. You're getting really good shadows on the rocks. You're getting really good contrast with that. For me, on my like photography eye, and this is something you have absolutely no control over or anything like that. But I wish the sky was more interesting.
I do too.
Yeah.
Honestly, with just starting out, like I wish it was a lot more open and less cloudy, because it was a very cloudy day, and that those clouds take away from the beauty, despite the fact of how beautiful it was. But you could have just some clouds here and there and still be able to show the bright blue sky on a beautiful day. But even with the sky being gray and kind of depressing a little bit, you still see the beauty despite the sadness.
And like I said, the sky doesn't take away anything from it or anything along those lines. We're purely looking at it from like a photography like standpoint, like what makes this shot stand out from this. Now, Chris, if you want to pull up one of yours real quick, we can take a look at it here while we have a little bit of time.
I'm also trying to do something here with the setting.
Perks of being the test run.
Figure this out.
That's all right.
So let me switch.
This can run past 20 minutes, right?
Let me switch this back to here, and I want to try something. If I can do this the right way. Oh, I gotta switch it back. Hold on. I'm sorry. Here we go.
Yep.
Now
Oh, here we
have
go.
picture in
There we
picture.
go.
There
Now
we go.
now we can see.
There we
Got
go.
it figured out.
Yeah.
Woo!
Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder.
And nobody can see my nervous leg as well too. So.
Okay. So now, if I can do this the right way, remove
Yeah.
that. There
There
we
is no right
go.
way. There is no wrong way. There is only a
Cool.
way.
Now we can be able to keep that picture
Yeah.
on our screen as we're talking about it because it was kind of cool, but at the same time we were missing us.
Yeah.
So I was trying to get that setting done here. That
You're also going to see the facial grab on my camera right here because we're planning on swapping out that piece of equipment as well too.
I'm
So
actually surprised it's not catching your face right now.
it's because I'm not moving as much.
Yeah, and I
And
just
I was
noticed it's
also
also
thinking
on the
it's
first
because the
camera.
mic is right there.
Yeah. The only camera
there it
so
is.
far that's not doing it on is Jenny's camera.
Yeah.
It's the only one that we're having a clean output.
Yeah.
But still, new equipment concept, new everything.
Yeah.
We've got a lot. Hopefully, our listeners, viewers, will be able to also see those and say, "Oh, we've done this to fix that," and help us out, learn as we go.
I mean, every Twitch streamer starts off with like their Xbox microphone and
Oh yeah.
and poor audio quality and probably usually like a webcam if they're having like a face cam or something along those lines. So it's fine.
Now,
It's fine.
what's even funnier to also bring up on the fact that we're not on Twitch. The Twitch stream didn't
That's all right.
transmit out, but we are on our Facebook and YouTube. We are live there.
Yeah.
Awesome.
There
So
we go.
we've got 2 out of the 3 on our first test. I'd say that was pretty good.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I agree.
insert Meatloaf reference right here. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. I'm not gonna sing it because it could probably get us demonetized.
Oh.
There
And
is
like,
there is
there
the
one.
Oh, let me think. That
That's their main camera.
I think. Oh, hey.
Oh, I think we need to press that button. There we go. Hey, and it's back.
Did we even set a timer?
I
to see
did.
How long did it take?
Well, here's the
45
thing, like
minutes.
they've been on since before we even went live too.
That is
so,
true.
So we know we know at least it's
I just heard another shutter.
Yep. Right seat just went out.
This one?
that's fine.
Or
Yeah,
the-
so 45 minutes is our timer for those 2.
Okay.
Okay, there we go.
So essentially, record one session and then it just says nope. We'll see you later.
Now there I'm sure there is a way to turn that off. I just haven't used a camera to do a webcam thing. Oh, is it completely borked now? Oh boy.
Oh, hopefully not.
Yeah,
I mean,
there we go.
hopefully
That's all
it
right.
fixes itself.
That's all right. So
Okay, you cannot record on the camera and output HDMI at the same time.
okay, that's good.
That's where we had the issue with that one. I pressed the button too many times.
That's all right. Okay. So, real quick, I guess let's pop up one of Chris's shots here, real quick.
Yes.
Haha.
We're
Ah, yes,
getting
the
this.
astrophotography, one of my favorites.
Yep. Yep.
So
And this is time lapse, long exposure, composite. What are we looking at here?
So all of the above.
Okay.
So for people who are unfamiliar with this is the Big Boy 4014, largest steam engine ever built and operated in the United States. Union Pacific brought it back to life from a museum piece and is doing tours across the country. And every once in a while, they like to park it here overnight in Hays, Kansas. So with me, my newest version of what I'm trying to work with is astrophotography. So I wanted to get some star trails in the photo. But being in the middle of a city, it's difficult. This isn't something that you can just easily take a picture and be done.
Right.
So this is they're 15-second exposures that are composited together to stretch over a 1-hour time frame. So it is long exposure plus composite plus stacking
Okay.
and the severe amount of editing. This one
The
photo
ungodly.
took me over 6 days, probably about 2 or 3 hours a day each time to be able to edit the photo out, because when you're doing 15 seconds, you also get car movements and you get headlights and light spots and everything all throughout the images. So
Yeah.
you have to go through each of those images and edit out or darken the bright spots,
Mhm.
so that you can get this composite at the end. You can still see some of the glow and everything around the engine, but it's not as bright as what it was when we first started.
Right. And then and that's the thing with this podcast too, is that we're going to be going over how you can do all of that. We'll have like Lightroom edits, we'll have Photoshop edit sessions and things like that, going over the ins and outs of everything that you want to run with. And and
Right.
like I said, if you're popping in already on our test stream, you want to send us questions or anything, by all means,
Of course.
do so.
We'll try.
Yeah.
Well, if I can't answer it,
Mhm.
then one of the other two here, Griff or Chris, can more than likely answer it to
Yeah.
the best of their ability.
Yeah. So I would argue that like Chris is more on the technical side of things. I'm probably more on the philosophical side of
I don't know where I
photography.
sit right now, just because I'm still in the process of learning,
Yeah.
like everybody that is joining, unless you
Yeah.
are an experienced photographer,
Mhm.
a professional photographer, or just beginning like me, then
Yeah.
then we're all in the same boat. We
Yeah.
probably all have some things we still don't know how to do, so it might get covered in an episode.
Um, Chris, can you pull up my my street photography real quick? So this is what we're talking
Absolutely.
about, where
Oops.
you have Chris's fantastic image here about working with clarity, working with sharpness,
Yes.
working with long exposure and stuff like that. Whereas my submission, or at least my street photography submission, was taken at 3 a.m. on the streets of Vegas on Fremont Street.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah.
Griff just told us
Yeah.
the story.
Yeah.
But this photo just speaks like free spirit to me when I see it.
Yep.
Because I mean, they always say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Yeah.
But for being as big of a city and as crazy and wild as it is, you still find the beauty in it.
Mhm.
And that's the proof in the pudding right there.
Yeah. Now, a photographer would look at it and say that's really soft. You can't quite see the clarity in her face. There's a lot of stuff. Here's the other thing too. My camera was not grabbing her when I was
Oh,
trying to
no.
autofocus. So part of the way through that, in a panic, I switched to manual focus and just dialed it in on the fly as I'm shooting and everything. So that's already like a problem that we're having right now. Now this isn't a clear street photography. This is street portrait. I did try to grab this subject candidly, but she was moving way too fast, and I was just feeling way too inspired that I stopped her and asked her if I could take some photos. So I want to clear that up with all my street photographers out there, that it's technically street portrait, but that's beside the point. But yeah, like that's between Chris and I, with his technical aspect, and I'm also looking at the screen over there. I'm gonna have one eventually right there that I can look directly at the camera and still be able to see the photo as well too. But
Right.
it's like it's two different methods for it, and for every person, like it could mean a bunch of different things, and it's just whether or not it overall speaks to you, kind of thing. So
Mhm.
yeah. I think probably one of the best analogies that I could probably get to it is, do you look at the trees or do you look at the forest? Are you do you notice the trees or do you notice the forest? What would you say, Chris?
I mainly focus on the trees more
Yep.
than the forest. That's my primary.
Yep, and I am a forest guy. I like looking at the whole
The big picture.
the whole forest kind of thing. Now that's not to say that like I can dial in a picture if you want to pull up the skeleton real quick, because in certain environments, yeah, I mean like I like I said, I do portraits as well too, and I want to clarify
Ooh.
that I like to I can grab what I want to. This was at the local museum that we have here, and here's the thing: like if you look at this, where I didn't switch it to black and white and also give it a strong S curve as well too. That's what I did. Black and white, strong S curve. That's all I did in Lightroom. And we'll talk about the S curve in a future episode as well too. But you know, if you look at the raw, it's just a picture of a bear skeleton on display.
Right.
And it's not that color, and it's, you know, very basic and whatnot, but just
It's
simple.
it's very bone colored.
Yeah, exactly. What I love about this is that this has like the vibe of like so we found this on like some sort of like classified dossier in the Appalachians, where it's like test subject 640 escaped from confinement on June 13th,
Oh, Lord.
1904, considered still at large and extremely dangerous. Attempts to capture and contain have failed, kind of thing.
Oh no!
The
Reminds me of
beginning of the
SCP
X Files.
reminds me of some SCP containment breach
Yep.
style stuff with
Yep.
how you just described
Yep.
it.
But it's a bear skeleton. That's all it is. I don't know
Man,
why.
if a bear skeleton's running away, I think we got some other problems going on.
Yeah. But I don't know. It was just one of those things where it's like I just snapped it, and when I snapped it in the moment, I was like, man, what am I doing snapping this thing? Because like in the back of the camera, it looks pretty basic, but then I
Mhm.
got it home and I just, you know, cropped in and switched it to black and white, and then suddenly, you know, like black and white's making a comeback, by the way. Like there was a
Oh,
time like in the
yes.
early 2000s where it was like, you know, when in the early days of Instagram and whatnot, where it's like, oh, sepia tone, look at you artist and whatnot. But now it's making resurgence, and it depends
Mhm.
on, you know, what you're going for and everything. So
I feel
Well,
like
and
black
then-
and
Go
sorry,
ahead.
my bad.
We were talking earlier about the trees as well.
Mhm.
Where sometimes I do switch, and I can go to seeing the whole forest.
Mhm.
So something like this, you can have each point
Mhm.
on its own, but it's not nearly as impactful as all of them together. The
Yeah.
sunset, the reeds, the subject, the lake.
Mhm.
You can have each one of those. It's great, but putting them all together, now it creates that forest look, and you have to change to forest, kind of like how you changed the detail on the skeleton.
Yeah.
We both have the ability to change back and forth. So as you
Yeah.
work with your
Mhm.
photography, you'll be able to choose which one you want in the moment.
Yes.
It's not really just I only do detail, but
Yeah.
I generally stick more towards let's look at the tree.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
you could probably look at photography like golfing. You know,
Oh boy.
you're not going to you're not going to use your driver while you're on the putting green.
Oh yeah, no.
You're not going to use your
No.
you're not going to use your sand wedge to tee off, you know, unless I suppose
unless
you could.
that's what you want to
I
do.
guess suppose you could, but it would
you want
be a
to
good
pile
idea.
drive that ball straight into the hole. Then
Yeah.
I guess if you're on the putting green and you want to use your
Different-
driver, you do you.
Yeah,
Hey,
different.
we're all on here.
Oh,
now.
we're all on here. How about
Well,
that?
look at that.
Look at that. Can you now put a camera, or can you now put a picture underneath Jen, and then we just have all four of us?
I don't know.
Speaking of photo,
Mhm.
I would like to bring up Blue Hour and Golden Hour for a second
Ooh,
because I
only
want
for
to
a second,
say,
because that's a whole episode on
Yes,
Oh,
itself.
it
yeah.
is. I want to say that the other photo that I sent you, Chris, was taken in Golden Hour on my phone because you can see those light rays coming through the clouds.
Mhm.
And I mean, I was just out with my significant other at the time. I don't remember what we were doing. I think we were going to the lake to let the dogs run around and play in the water. But we were on top of the dam,
Mhm.
crossing to go to the south side, I believe. And I got this really pretty picture of the sun through some of the clouds.
Yeah.
It's
from
not
top
really
of the
golden
dam.
hour or blue hour. Your sun's
Okay,
a
so
little
it's
hot.
somewhere
You're-
straight in the middle.
You're still in
No.
harsh light, actually.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
actually in mid-afternoon.
Yeah.
That's,
Oh, well,
that's neither.
mm.
But because of the clouds, it creates a whole new
And
perspective.
Uh-huh.
it was just kind of a spur of the moment thing. This was also taken on my phone, sadly.
Mhm.
I feel like it would have turned out a little bit more interesting if I would have had my camera with me, but
Yep.
you know, I was dealing with rowdy animals and
Mm-hmm.
my significant other at the time that I forgot to grab my camera bag
Mhm.
and I didn't know if I had any batteries charged.
Mhm.
But just the nature of like that photo, you know, the sky's blue, the sun's coming through, you can see the rays of sun coming through the breaks
Mhm.
and the clouds, and then you got the lake right there being as calm as it looks.
Mhm.
And you know, you get that little bit of the dam as well, just kind of being like, hey, here's this blockade for this big
Yeah.
area of water. but it seemed ethereal to me at the time because it's like I get to see a little taste of heaven
Mhm.
with the rays coming through the
You hear the elves of
the
Lothlorien singing as you're
yes,
taking it.
yes. That was honestly why I got it, because I'm just like, oh hey, grandma let me have a little taste of heaven for a minute, so let me snap this.
Yeah.
And I look at it and I just think, yes, this is heaven, and if I could be here all the time, I would be, to be able to get more shots like this.
Yeah.
Except on my camera, because it would turn out 10 times better than my phone, as clear and sharp as it is on my phone. But no, the camera would make it 10 times better.
Yeah. So.
Even if I'm standing halfway down the dam. But, and just the gorgeousness of it all. You got all the different shades of blue, the green. The sun just was like my focal point that day. It was so bright and so beautiful that I couldn't hesitate to take it.
Do you know approximately what time this was probably taken?
I'm probably gonna guess early afternoon.
Early afternoon. Okay.
Yeah.
Because so probably like 2 or 3 or something like that. Chris, do you have my barn shot?
I can make it.
Okay.
I can
because my
make it.
barn shot was taken at probably about that time as well too. Mine, however, was in the Ozarks, so I had like a tree canopy. That
I
was
don't
also
have a barn shot.
Now I'm forgetting what all I sent you now at this point.
Here, I can give you the other sun. Well, you have a sunset one with a smokestack.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
lizard.
one. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we want to talk about golden hour.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Yes.
Yeah, because that was like that was like literally I had like minutes left to grab that shot. That's your golden hour
So
right there.
pretty, too.
Yeah. So
And the just colors of the sky.
yeah.
They're so
And that's
mesmerizing.
going from golden right into blue.
Yeah. 100%.
So that's like pristine.
Mhm.
Well, that's
almost
where
time.
the sun has already gone below the horizon line.
Okay.
So you're right at the end. You're transitioning from golden hour to blue hour.
Mhm.
So the way that it is, we have a whole episode we'll have to cover this
Oh, yeah.
on. But
Oh,
just
most definitely.
the million-mile view, the golden hour is from the minute that sun sets backwards 1 hour. So whatever is within an hour of sunset is your golden hour. And then blue hour is from your sunset time forward, which is just 1 hour after sunset.
Mhm.
And that's because there's more blue hue that's in the sky. When you work with general photography, the blue hour, you can make really like spooky images or really more like paranormal style.
Yeah.
But it's going to be cooler, colder, and more mysterious. With the
Right.
golden hour, it's very warmth and very like this. It's very impactful on their oranges and their reds. That's where the golden
Yes.
portion comes in. Also, if we're going to go with golden hour, I know it's going to be a harsh transition. This is taken in the golden hour. This is actually taken within 45 minutes of the sunset. So you get a very long shadow past your subject, but you get this wonderful, just orange light that comes through there without that harsh white. But yet you can still keep all the blue and the whites from the sun, or from the sky.
Mhm.
We'll go back to yours. Wrong one. Too many buttons.
Yeah. All the buttons. Yeah, and I mean, like shortly after I took this shot, like the light just disappeared completely, and it was
Oh.
just dark at that
Pitch
point. So it was, and I'm so glad I have that one because that was like at the tail end of my shooting in the Ozarks kind of thing, and like I got that thing right as I ran out of light, pretty much, and it was like my last day and last attempt at getting those shots that I wanted to and everything. I have a barn shot that I apparently didn't send to Chris that that was taken deep in the Ozarks that had like a bunch of tree covering and stuff like that too. So yeah, but But that one was taken, not this one, but the barn one that I'm talking about. It was taken, probably about 2 or 3 in the afternoon,
Mhm.
kind of thing, give or take. So I can't remember on my timeline if I went down into the mines or the caves before or after I took that shot. I don't remember at this point. So, but yeah, I think, I mean, that probably is a good point to wrap it up right there, because I also have to get going here pretty quick as
I
well
think this
too.
would be good. I mean, we ran our live at 38 minutes today,
There we go.
and we
Yeah,
didn't actually
almost-
we didn't run
almost
an
a full-
episode number, which
Yep.
is fine.
Yeah.
Hold on. I want to see
Episode 0.
episode 0.0.
Yeah. But thank you for joining us on our little test stream, and we'll have much smoother transitions going forward, hopefully, and as we
Oh yes.
gradually learn and whatnot. So, but thank you for
Yes.
dropping in on Boca and Mocha.
Yes, thank you for joining us.
Hold on. Well, I wanted to do one more thing
okay.
here before we have all of us on.
There we go.
here.
Yeah. Actually, a good thing that we can end off on. So Christopher teaches photography classes, and he has a spiel at the end of each one of his classes that he likes to talk about finding your own voice.
Yes, he does.
Yeah. So as you said, we do teach classes here in Kansas and Hayes. If you guys are anywhere near the area of Hayes, we offer this every month. And also we offer some field trips to come along. Hopefully we'll be able to bring some of you guys, of our internet streaming viewers, on some of those field trips as well. But the big thing I talk about to everybody who comes through the class is don't try and copy anybody else's photos they see. Not because it's their
Plagiarism.
photos, but because it's not your voice.
Mhm.
The best way to be able to get the best photo is to be able to put a little bit of yourself in it.
Put your own spin on it. Put your own
Exactly.
style.
Yep.
And
Exactly.
coming in as a new one, Chris always tells me you need to find your own style.
Sorry, my camera just went all weird on there.
And
don't-
while Chris is over there with his camera,
Yeah.
everybody's style is going to be different.
Yep.
No one person is going to be the same. You may be in the same aspect of your interests,
Mm-hmm.
but don't try and copy a photo like you see on the internet.
Mhm.
Try and maybe take the same subject matter, but put your own spin on it.
You can still use, like, if you're doing portrait, you can still say, oh, I want that style of pose.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of going straight on to the subject like the other photo may have been,
Yes.
maybe your aspect is, well, I really like to see things from more of a lower perspective.
Mhm.
Same pose, lower perspective, completely different picture than
Oh,
it
yeah.
was before.
Definitely.
So,
So
but
all
yeah,
right.
well, I think we'll be good to end on that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
we'll have
we
an
will-
official outro at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
An
hopefully
official
we'll
intro.
get one created, and then we can end a lot more
Yeah.
professionally.
We will eventually get through that, but in the meantime, we will run with our wonderful credits from our system. So thank you guys so much for coming in for this test, and
Yes,
hopefully
thank you.
we'll start recording our actual podcast and getting Boca and Mocha on the air.
Sounds
Oh
good.
yeah.
Take care.
Thank
Keep
you.
shooting.
Take care, everybody.
Keep shooting.